How do you say where you're from in Tagalog? Find out. Kumusta po kayo? My name is Jay. I'm a Filipino and I call Metro Manila in the Philippines my home. This channel is dedicated in giving you a flavor of the beautiful language, the Tagalog language, which is spoken in the Philippines and by millions of Filipinos living outside of the Philippines. It is my hope that this channel inspires foreigners and Filipinos born outside of the Philippines to develop a love in learning the Tagalog language. In the last video, we talked about sentences you can use when you are meeting people for the first time. If you missed that, I am providing a link in the description down below, so please do check it out. But before we begin, please consider clicking on the subscribe and bell button so you won't miss any new videos that I will be posting regularly. In the last video, we talked about how to ask someone where they are from. Like most sentences in Tagalog, this question can be asked in the familiar or less formal and polite or more formal ways. Let us review. You may be asked or you can ask these questions. For singular familiar, the question is, taga saan ka? Ka is the singular form of you. For plural familiar, the question is, taga saan kayo? Kayo being the plural form of the personal pronoun you. To be polite, the question is, taga saan po kayo? The plural form of the personal pronoun you is used to be polite. Again, you see the po between saan and kayo. Or, you may ask the question, taga saan po sila? Here, we use sila, which is the plural form of they. You may respond this way. If you are a single speaker, you can respond in the familiar form this way. Taga-Amerika ako. To be polite, you can say, taga-Amerika po ako. If you are a speaker in a group of 2 or more persons, you can say, taga-Amerika kami. We are from America. Or you can say, taga-Amerika ako, taga-Australia siya. To be polite, you can say, taga-Amerika po kami. Or, taga-Amerika po ako, taga-Australia po siya. In this video, we are going to explore further a very convenient word we used in the previous examples. And that word is taga. A word you can use to say where you are from. In this channel, we talked about the origin of the word Tagalog. It is a contraction of the words Taga-Ilog, which means from the river. It morphed into Tagalog over the centuries, even prior to the arrival of the Spanish in the 16th century. I have talked about that in a previous video. If you have missed it, I'm going to provide a link in the description down below, so please do check it out. Taga is a word you use to say where you are from. For example, taga Pilipinas, from the Philippines. Taga Maynila, from Manila. Taga Brazil, from Brazil. Taga Indonesia, from Indonesia. Taga Cebu, from Cebu. Taga Davao, from Davao. There is a second meaning of the word taga, and that is the doer of something. Taga-masid. Masid being the word observe or an observer. Taga-bantay, a guard. Taga-luto, a cook. Taga-linis, a cleaner. Taga-walis, walis being the word to sweep the floor, a sweeper. Tagasalin, a translator. Another meaning of the words tagasalin is someone who fetches any liquid and pours it into a container. Taga-suporta, a supporter. Taga-ayos, someone who arranges things or someone who fixes things or a fixer. Taga-tagay, someone who fills liquor or wine and passes the glass around. And oh yes, everyone is expected to drink from the same glass. Taga-sundo, someone designated to go and accompany or drive someone home. Taga is also a very convenient word to use when you are not sure of the exact name of an occupation. For example, taga-tahi, tahi being the Tagalog word for sow, meaning someone who sows, or in Tagalog, mananahi, or in English, sower. Taga-maneho, maneho being the Tagalog word to drive, so meaning someone who drives a vehicle or someone who is the designated driver. The occupation in Tagalog is chuper. And oh yes, it was borrowed from French. So in English, driver. Taga-husga. Husga being the Tagalog word for judge. So someone who hands down a sentence. In Tagalog, that job is a hukom or a judge in English. We also have taga-masahe. Masahe being the Tagalog word for massage. So therefore, someone who massages, or the masahista or the masseuse in English. We also have taga-kumpas, or someone who waves his hand. The job title in Tagalog will be conductor or conductor in English. You can also use taga in more complex phrases like tagagawa ng bahay, meaning someone who builds homes, or contractor in Tagalog or contractor in English. You can also have tagalatag ng tiles, or someone who lays tiles. And oh yes, tiles is an English loanword. In Tagalog, we just call the person laborer. And yes, it is also in English. And it is pronounced the same way in English, although with a little Tagalog accent. In English, in this case, it's a tile layer. We also have tagalapat ng titik, or someone who writes lyrics or letters. In this case, the Tagalog name of the occupation is liriko. Although this title is seldom used, we also use lyricista, or in English, lyricist. Taga, in describing someone who is the doer of something, can actually be used in jest or in a joking manner. For example, taga-kain. Kain being the Tagalog word of eat. So this is someone who eat a lot. Taga-ubos. Ubos being the Tagalog word for consume. In this context, it means someone who is known to eat a lot and finishes the food at parties. We also have taga-inom. Inom being the Tagalog word for drink. So this is the person who is the designated drinker at parties. We also have taga-kanta. Kanta being the Tagalog word for sing. So this person is the designated singer at parties. Of course, the words Filipinos and parties won't be complete without the word singing. Taga can also be used to describe someone in not so flattering ways. For example, taga-sigaw. Sigaw being the Tagalog word for shout, or someone who is known to shout a lot. Or taga-mando, to give order. So someone who is known to give orders even if it is not his or her job to do so. You can also have the words taga-sumbong. Sumbong being the Tagalog word to tell on someone. So this is a person who has the habit of reporting someone to higher authorities. As you can see, you can use taga in a variety of ways. It is a very convenient word to use. Can you form your own phrases using taga? If you can, please share in the comment section down below. I hope you learned something new today, and if you did, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button and the subscribe button. It will do a lot of favor to this channel. I hope to see you next time for more learnings on Tagalog. Hanggang sa susunod!